want to clear this up. Scott Foster was not arrested. Everybody, I had to verify this because I saw the post, as many of you probably saw the post too, that Scott Foster was arrested. It didn't happen, but we all believed it because that motherfucker's guilty, bro. He's guilty of something. It'll eventually come out. Remember, this FBI scandal that has been reported now, everybody's saying it's the tip of the iceberg. What else is going to start coming into this? You bring up that it's protecting the integrity of the league. I question it slightly because, hear me out, the injury report thing I find very, very, very interesting because people have been getting paid for information on injuries since the dawn of sports betting creation, because it's the easiest way to get an edge the fastest. And so with Damon Jones releasing the injury reports and getting paid for that, he got caught, shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. I want you to think, who do you think the book calls to be able to adjust their line? Because they're on the hook for all the money that's being bet on those games. You don't think that the sports books have insider information on injury reports? This is where I'm a little in between on. I don't think that the books are helping the integrity of the game when it comes to stuff like that, where you're going to get mad at a coach for talking, right? Like, right. People can bug phone calls all the time. If you were a good enough spy and you sat outside the Lakers facility and you were able to fucking listen in on every conversation, you could make a lot of money.
Right. Hold that thought, because there's something I want to pick up off that, right? But in regards to what you're saying about the injury report was created to prevent insider information.
Correct.
So they work in cahoots with one another. Like, hey, we need to know if this person's going to be active.
But there's rules, but there's also no rules. So what are we supposed to do? You can put your entire team on the injury report.
That's what Belichick used to do.
Because why wouldn't you?
Tom Brady was questionable, I think, his whole career.
Literally.
And he always played, right? And then they even had to adjust that. Remember, it used to be probable, questionable, doubtful, out. They got rid of the probable because Tom Brady would be probable every week. Now it's like you're questionable to play, which is like a 50-50. Doubtful, it's like 90-10.
Unless
you're not
it's a
playing.
Playoff game, you're not going in.
Yeah. Unless you get fucking shot up with some PEDs or some fucking Vicodins like Perk Rogers in 2012, you're probably out. And then out is out. Like, they literally changed it for that. Now, what you just said now, the Damon Jones thing and like the locker room, my question to you is like, bro, how do you police that? Imagine me and you are athletes. We are athletes. Say we're professional athletes. You're 36 years old. I'm 34 and you're 28, right? That's what you are, right?
27.
27. Okay. You're 27, I'm 38. We're getting our ankles taped up in pregame.
Which we do before every show, by the way.
Yeah, we do that before every show. And as that's happening, you and I are getting our ankles taped. We're getting massages and all that. And Isaiah comes into the room because he's, no disrespect, Isaiah. Isaiah's the janitor, right? Isaiah's the janitor and he's cleaning up. And you're like, yo, bro, how do you feel about tonight, man? We got the Spurs. And I just turn to you and I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like I fucked my back up. I don't know how much of a go I'm going to give it. Isaiah hears that, hits the group chat. Yo, Nick Deus might not play tonight, bro. Bet his unders. That's my fault? Me and you are just chit-chatting. We're just yapping.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation? I don't know how you police that.
Correct.
One suggestion I did have for the Jonte Porters of the world, yo, if you don't play more than 30 minutes, I can't bet player props on you. That's it. There needs to be a threshold. It's starters. It's guys that play legitimate minutes. You shouldn't be able to bet on Jalen Hyatt's receptions.
Half.
Of a seventh wide receiver on the roster.
Correct.
That's one way you could police it. You got to play a certain amount of minutes. Draymond Green a couple years ago wanted to play in a game that either, I think it was Klay Thompson was coming back from injury, or he had a streak he wanted to continue. Bro, they tipped the ball off. He personal fouls, gets checked out. Everyone who bet his unders cashed. Ever since then, it's the Draymond Green rule.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play a certain amount of snaps. You have to play a certain amount of minutes. Now some sports books give you early exit clause. Cam Scatterbull, poor guy, shatters his ankle. DraftKings in particular, because it was all over the place, they gave you back your money on those bets. Mm-hmm. Or they paid out if, say, he was in a 5-leg parlay and 4 to 5 hit, and that's the one, they paid you out, right? So there's ways around it. However, to me, my whole thing is like, yo, bro, I'm over there yapping with my teammate. I can't, like, what the fuck? Isaiah's going to come in for 30 seconds and, like, what part of the conversation? Was he there? Was he not there for? That's where I'm like, how do you police it?
And here's how you police it. Because they got caught because of the amount of money that was being sent back and forth. That's all the FBI does, or at least, you know, I've watched enough investigative shows to know that the first thing they do is, if you follow the money, you'll figure out exactly what's happening. They follow the money because it's huge amounts of, I mean, upwards of $10,000 to $50,000 worth of money on injury report information that was being dispersed in wires to people that would eventually lead back to the team. So I think the question is, Nick, how much of this is already happening where it's not at the dollar amount threshold where they give a fuck? Because I know it happens. It has happened every single week this year in sports, be it college, basketball, NHL, that everybody has somebody inside an organization that has told their friends, but their friends just don't bet tens of thousands of dollars.
You can't make it hot.
Correct. You can't make it hot, but then what's the fun? And that's the part that, you know, we're gonna see how these injury reports are policed. I think I like your idea of limiting the amount of bets that should be on a slip. That's a really good one.
I also need to, I wouldn't be me if I didn't also say this too. A very important caveat in this entire scandal with any athlete, they're also really fucking stupid for being put in this position. Terry Rozier has made over $160 million in his career. This is guaranteed money. What are we doing, bro? How much do you need? Even if I'm Terry Rozier and you're like, yo, bro, can you go under your 3-pointers tonight? I want to make 20K. Bro, here's 30. Stop. Leave me alone. I'm not going to sabotage my fucking legacy and career for you to make 20,000.
Yeah.
I'll just give it to you. And guess what? If you ask me again, I cut you off. You make my life easier. A lot of these people don't have the right people in their lives that they fall into these traps. Bro, I remember I've told my friends, I'm like, yo, I appreciate you guys for not ever letting me, like, do no dumb shit.
Right.
I've done dumb shit, but not to the point where, like, it's catastrophic to what I've been building out. That's the thing, man. These guys are really fucking dumb across the board. There's so many of them, and it's stupid. It's like, bro, how much do you need, bro? And listen, I'm of a believer that money won is twice as sweet as money earned. I get that. But we're talking about way different numbers, bro. We're talking about generational wealth.
Yes. And mind you, there hasn't been anything that correlates these two things that I'm about to bring up. But if it is the tip of the iceberg, there is a chance that, I mean, bro, when I said the mafia is back, it's crazy. It's like it seems like they were gone forever after The Sopranos finished, and now they're back. Do you think that they are targeting these players, easily influenceable players? Terry Rozier seems like the type of person that he could be easily influenced, clearly. Do you think they target them, whether it be the poker games, the women? They get you on the hook for something.
They get you on the hook for something. And then we need to also mention that there was a book written about the greatest athlete of all time being in a betting scandal, Michael Jordan, if you watch the Last Dance. So like, it's been around forever. That was a different debt. He owed a golf debt, right? Again, Jordan was like, bro, I'm not a gambling addict. He's like, I could pay that. 50,000 to MJ is like $200 to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's way different. It's way different. I also think that with these athletes and like the mafia ties, what you're asking me about, like, can you get them in easy? Yeah, you could. And again, I also think it's the company that you keep too that gets you in trouble in these scenarios. And I'm just so happy, bro. I've been betting since I was like 14 years old. Money I didn't have, money I had. I never got into a position where like I'd have to worry about the FBI coming after me, or like I owed so much money that I had to fucking sell off some shit. Like, yeah, I traded in an Xbox one time to fucking pay a gambling debt. But like now I'm so grateful that I'm in a position where like, yeah, I'll have like 400 or 500 on a weekend going. It's a good enough number that it's like, it stings. It's like a body shot. You're like, oh, right, fuck, that sucks that I lost that. Can't believe he got down at the one album first touchdown. But it's not devastating to the point where I'm going to owe 150 people money and then people stop fucking with you. You're losing jobs. You're losing relationships. Right. And that's what, you know, to bring it back to the show, like, that's why I love what we've been building out. Because I've always felt like, yo, this shit is fun. It's enjoyable. Moderation. Never get, that's why we do $25, $50 bets. Got to be able to control it. These guys can't control it. And then to your point, they get on the hook for something more significant. And I've always felt the other thing too, just to put a bow on this conversation, because we're definitely going to revisit it, because this ain't the last time you're going to hear about it.
Oh, no. This is
just to put a bow on this conversation, bro, think of the players that have been caught. It ain't all NBA guys. It was always going to be
the easily influenceable 7th, 8th guy off the bench.
Yeah, and my question to you, to the audience, to the sports books, how do you police that? Do you set limits on, yo, you got to be top 3 on the depth chart. You got to play 30 plus minutes a game in the NBA in order for you to be able to wager on those bets. And if we have the injury report, and CJ Watson, friend of the show, who even said, he's like, yo, I had a career night because Derrick Rose got scratched and I came in. And if you've informed people that, oh, yo, CJ's going to play 35 minutes, okay, cool, you can bet on CJ Watson props. But you can't normally if CJ's going to play 8 minutes. Right. Because we're not going to bet on his fucking under 3-point shots. That's one way that you could police it. You have so many things you could bet on. Yeah. Why even open up the floodgates, which you have, on betting on all these fucking random ass people? Agreed.
Like Nick said, this is the start of many, many people that are coming down in this situation. And man, I've always proposed this, and I really want to formulate this idea because I think it could be a really good idea to put everyone's mind at ease, is that these players can bet on everything, but it has to be full transparency. I think in that situation, we would start to be able to trust the game that we love a little bit more. There's too much that is behind the scenes, and I think it could even be worked into contracts. Maybe, you are the 7th guy off the bench. You're not making as much as these starters, but, if you're doing it in front of everybody out in the open, what's the big deal? Clearly, you can't bet against your own team, but I would like to know if, you placed a bet on your team and see how confident you were and the dollar amount that you put down. And I think, by the way, we said that number is going to increase from 148 billion. What if we started letting the richest motherfuckers in the world put in bets? You want to see that double in a year? Do it. Do that.
And bro, and think about this, right? For the longest time, fighters used to be like, yo, I bet on myself to win. I'm kind of for it if it's in favor of you performing well. If given an option. Ideally, they don't. But to your point, if you're going to bet and I find out, yo, you're betting your unders, you want your team to lose, that's fucked up. But if you're betting overs, it means that you want to perform well.
Yeah.
That I'm more open to it. We can have a dialogue about that. Whereas like, yo, Ryan Garcia said it against Devin Haney. He said he bet on himself $2 million. He won it. Right? So like, but why there? It's because rules are rapidly changing, and that's not leagues. It's not a team sport.
Right.
There it's promotions. So there's no rules and regulations there. In the UFC, they're like, yo, bro, you can't do nothing. Can't even be seen in a sports book for the most part. Like we've had mad fighters on here. They're like, yo, we can't say, no, don't worry, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll bet on it. You know? So like, that's why it's a little bit different. But yeah, to your point, man, you're going to continue to see it. You see it happen often. Anyone that's ever lost a $25 parlay, congratulations. You feel validated over these last couple of weeks. But it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. And let us know what you think about this conversation, man. True story. Pretty much everything that I said there, I shot in like an 18-minute video on my Canon G7.
No way.
Yeah. And then over the weekend was Complex Con. And I brought it to Complex Con. And Stat Baby from It Is What It Is. So she's like, yo, where'd you get that camera? I was like, yo, I've had this since like 2018. She's like, oh, it's the vlog camera. And I was like, yeah, yo, it's dope, whatever. She's like, can I use it to take some photos? I was like, yeah, sure. Forgetting, because that day was so hectic, that I had this footage. And then, I got the camera late last night. And I was like, oh, this show's tomorrow. Might as well just
And you did good
for that.
That was good, because you took me through players that I haven't heard in a while, and it was just like refreshing, because it's sick, bro. It's like one of those scrolls that you see in a cartoon that's just never ending.
Yeah. Yeah, and also who was that quarterback that I sent you a video of from Indiana, Mendoza?
Yeah.
After one of the games, there was like a fucked up play, and he's like, well,
Took a safety. They're on the 30-yard line. He sprints 35 yards backwards to take a safety at the end of the game.
And what does he say? He's like, I know some people were affected by that. Why even open up the can of worms, bro? Why even entertain that? Like, sometimes people try to be slick when they talk and funny, and that's how you get in trouble.